The tensions between Israel and Hamas are high, with several days of fighting. Israel's struck Hamas targets in Gaza several times during the last week after repeated launches of arson balloons from Gaza. Both Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Rivlin are warning Hamas not to test Israel, saying they're ready for an escalation if the violence continues. Well, we have our defense correspondent Daniel Tsemach with us live from the Gaza border to update us about the situation right now. So, Daniel, Israeli strikes against targets in Gaza are currently underway. What is the latest here?
Yeah, so from what we understand, the Israeli Air Force is currently responding to the day's hostilities with airstrikes that are causing explosions to be heard also on this side of the border throughout the Gaza Strip. We're in the northern Gaza Strip, so it does seem as though part of those strikes are also affecting this area. Now, it was expected, Natasha, that we would see the Israeli military response, maybe even a stronger one, not only because of the fires we saw today, but also because of the rocket fire, which broke 3 days of without rocket fire. The last rocket was launched on Saturday night, and indeed the security establishment was concerned that there would be rocket fire tonight. That was the assessment, according to security officials I spoke to earlier tonight.
Well, I mean, both President Rivlin and, of course, Prime Minister Netanyahu warned Hamas today not to continue its attacks on Israel. I mean, clearly these warnings don't mean much to Hamas, right?
Well, it's part of whatever they're trying to achieve. It seems as though Hamas is very keen on continuing with this pressure. We've heard the rhetoric. It has been building up for sure, especially with Rivlin's comments. Not necessarily a figure who always chimes in when it comes to tensions with Hamas in Gaza, but it seems as though Hamas is very, very committed to upping the pressure. It has certain demands that it wants Israel to meet, and it doesn't seem like they're going to let up for now, Natasha.
Right. Hamas is apparently looking for a new deal with Israel, or at least one forcing Israel to live up to its part of the previous agreement. Does Hamas have a point here in the sense that Israel is delaying aid to Gaza, which is part of an understanding between both sides?
He definitely has a point in the fact that there is a lot of aid being really withheld from Gaza right now, but part of that definitely has to do with the ongoing violence we're seeing, and also it has to do with the Qatari sort of role, which is a very significant one, providing the aid. And Qatar is also involved in some of the projects that were articulated in a report released by a Lebanese media outlet suggesting that Hamas wanted to move forward with a sort of direct power line to its power plants. Qatar is also involved with that. Of course, all of these issues, though, Natasha, at the end of the day, are tied to Israel's approval. And so in that sense, it's definitely true to say that Israel is withholding certain things that Hamas is supposed to receive. But at the same time, with this continued violence, Israel has made it quite clear it won't be handing things over, at least for now. Right. If anything, it's restricting more and more and providing more military reactions.